There are moments in training camp when you just know this is going to matter when the season starts. And with the Baltimore Ravens, what's happening with Kyle Van Noy right now is something special. He's 34, has bounced around the league, but somehow he might be playing the best football of his entire career. The Ravens gave him a new role, turned him into a pure pass rusher, and he's been making people eat their words ever since. But what nobody saw coming is what he said off the field. Because behind this incredible stretch, Van Noy dropped something that completely changes how we look at his future, and it could have a serious impact on the Ravens' plans for 2025. You know that player everyone thought had already hit his ceiling? That was Kyle Van Noy before Baltimore. At 32, after bouncing between teams, most people saw him as just another aging vet. But the Ravens saw something different. They didn't just give him a shot. They completely changed the way he was used. And that changed everything. Instead of dropping him back in coverage like he did most of his career, Baltimore cut him loose. They told him, go get the quarterback. And he did again and again. Since arriving in 2023, Van Noy stacked up 21.5 sacks in just 30 games. That's right. Over 20 sacks in less than 2 full seasons. It's like he found a second life in the NFL. And no one, absolutely no one, saw this version of him coming at this stage in his career. It's the classic case of the right player, wrong system. Until now. Van Noy always had the skill, but the Ravens found a perfect role to unleash it. Now he's a mismatch nightmare, and offensive lines across the league are paying for it. And the craziest part? You can't help but wonder, how did everyone else miss this? But even with all this success, Van Noy knows a lot of people still don't realize just how dominant he's been. It's wild. Van Noy has the stats to back it up, but somehow he's still not getting the recognition. He said it himself. He knows he's been one of the best in the league, ranking top 10 in key categories over the past 2 years. But somehow, he keeps flying under the radar. In his own words, I'm still waking people up. And he's absolutely right. That tells you a lot about who he is. He's not chasing headlines. He lets his play do the talking. And honestly, his numbers are screaming. Maybe it's because he's never been the guy on a defense. He's played for multiple teams, done different jobs, move around. But now that the Ravens have him in the right spot, he's showing a level most people didn't even know he had. And even though he talks about it with humility, you can feel it fuels him. Getting overlooked despite playing like a star, that just adds to the fire. He's not out here for attention. He's out here to prove, week after week, that he's still elite. And as he said himself, being surrounded by teammates who share that same mindset, that's what makes this run in Baltimore feel different. But no matter how great he's playing right now, Van Noy knows time is catching up. And this offseason was a big reminder of that. This offseason gave Van Noy a lot to think about. He didn't flat out say he considered retirement, but it's clear the thought crossed his mind. He's 34 now. He's seen a lot in this league. The ups, the downs, and even though he's still in great shape, he knows he's closer to the end than the beginning. His words were honest. The end is closer, and everybody knows it. But that doesn't mean he's ready to stop. Not even close. He talked with gratitude, but also with edge. He said flat out, he can still play at a high level, and that's exactly what he's doing. The speed, the power, the consistency, it's all still there. He's not just some veteran coasting on experience. He's out there dominating, playing with the kind of intensity that makes you forget he's in his mid-30s. And maybe that balance of being aware of the clock, but refusing to slow down, is what makes Van Noy so dangerous. He's not living in denial. He knows time is limited, which is exactly why he's making every rep count. That kind of hunger is contagious. When a guy with his resume is still going this hard, the younger players take notice. And one guy who's definitely noticing, John Harbaugh, who's been fired up about what Van Noy is doing in camp.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
John Harbaugh didn't dance around it. When asked about Van Noy's age, he pretty much brushed it off. To him, it's not about labels or narratives. It's about what you see on the field. And what he's seeing is a player making plays, setting the tone, and looking every bit as sharp as he did last year. He's playing great, Harbaugh said, and he meant it the way Harbaugh sees it. Age doesn't matter. Production does. Some guys hit a wall. Others keep it going. And until a player gives you a reason to doubt, you ride with what you see. And what he sees in Van Noy is a guy who's still winning reps, still getting the quarterback, and still pushing the standard inside that locker room. That kind of trust from your head coach, it's huge. It shows that Van Noy isn't just hanging around for leadership or depth. He's there because he's delivering, going toe-to-toe with guys a decade younger and still coming out on top. Harbaugh knows it. The team knows it. And that creates the kind of environment where vets like Van Noy can keep raising the bar, even with the clock ticking. And if time really is a factor, Van Noy's got one more thing he's chasing. And this one's deeply personal. In the middle of all the football talk, age, stats, role changes, Van Noy shared something that hit deeper. He said it would mean the world to play in a Super Bowl and have his kids there to see it. Not as some icon like LeBron or Steph, but just as a dad living out a dream with his family by his side. That's real. That's powerful. It shows a different side of Van Noy. This isn't just about grinding out one more contract. It's about giving meaning to these final chapters. If he's going to pour everything into the game, he wants it to be for something big, a chance to hoist that trophy, to share that moment with the people who supported him through it all. That's what he means when he says he wants to celebrate with his family. And the most powerful part? He's not chasing fantasy. He knows how hard it is to get there. He knows what it takes. That's why he's locked in. Why he's attacking camp like a rookie fighting for a roster spot. Because that dream of ending it on the biggest stage, surrounded by those he loves, is still alive. And he's not wasting a second chasing it. What Kyle Van Noy is doing with the Ravens feels like one of those NFL stories that gets overlooked until it isn't. A veteran most had written off finds a perfect fit, completely reinvents himself, and becomes a key piece in one of the league's nastiest offenses. He didn't just switch roles. He flipped the narrative. And it all comes down to the right mix of talent, opportunity, and mindset. And the Ravens gave him exactly that. But behind this incredible run, there's something even more human. Van Noy knows the end is coming. He's not hiding from it, but he's embracing every second, chasing a finish line that would mean everything. A Super Bowl moment, with his kids watching. That's what drives him now. That's the fire behind everything he's doing. So what do you think, Ravens fans? Can Kyle Van Noy go out with the kind of ending that legends dream of? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because one thing's for sure, he's going to give everything he's got to this team. And if the rest of the locker room brings that same energy, watch out. This team's not done yet.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.